Welcome back, YouTube, and all the people that come hang out with us every week. It is no remorse time again. It's Wednesday night. We start at 8 Central. I know there's people on the East Coast at 9. There's people out on the West Coast considerably earlier. You lucky devils out there that actually can squeak this show in and not feel like you're, what do you want to say, like...
Ready for bed.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. They probably are eating. Maybe they're listening while they're cleaning snakes, whatever. But we appreciate everybody that's out there. We're back with an excellent guest and one we should have had. Like Jamie said in the pre-show, backstage a little bit, should have had a long time ago. Scheduling, all those kinds of things always come up. But Adam's always been something that even very early on, a couple of years back, we could reach out to and go, hey, Adam, great show. You know, what are your thoughts here? Not a ton of conversation back and forth. We don't really know each other very well, so a lot of this is going to be new to us. Hopefully new to a lot of you guys out there too. But for the people that know Adam really well, maybe it'll just be entertaining tonight. So that's the goal. Focus on Adam. Hear some things about him maybe that we don't know. That would be kind of fun. See some backstories, maybe a bar brawl where he had to whack somebody with a Les Paul or something to get out of the place, you know, I don't know, who knows. Yeah, spatula maybe in the restaurant tour days, but that could be.
Comes running out of the kitchen.
Right. Couple of Red Lobsters in each hand whacking people. Take this claw, but yeah, no. So hopefully we touch on some things maybe you haven't heard from Adam. As everyone knows, we don't run a real tight ship here. We are fast, loose, goofy, and we're going to touch on stuff that maybe people just wouldn't think about from a different angle. So maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. We're about to find out, guys. News for the week on the Ford side. Anything happen here, guys, that I'm unaware of? Because I got a couple of things to talk about.
You're aware of it, but deer are eating all my plants, and I'm going to go.
Yeah, those things. You know, we should maybe just quick touch on that for people that aren't in an area like us. Now, Adam,
like
he's back up north
horns,
here.
man.
There are so many in this area. We're in rural northwestern Wisconsin. So you got farm field, a business, farm field, a house, farm field, you know, all of these country highways that are just going around all of these prime hunting areas, you know, and the population is so out of hand that you literally see carcass, about what, mile, maybe 3 miles apart, the entire drive, anywhere you go. So these, yeah, they're downright nuisance.
I'll grab a picture of my car we can post up for the next show.
Yeah, right. My sister-in-law hit 2 in 1 week a few weeks ago.
Got deer dents everywhere, man.
Just craziness. So I feel your pain, Jay. Looking at your car, I feel your pain. Looking at your stripped down stubs of trees, I feel your pain. I get it.
That's ridiculous.
I get it 100%.
That's funny. Not funny.
Funny, not funny, right? So,
right.
Jamie, Gecko side, what do you got? Any news? Stuff coming up? Stuff hatching?
I got a new male to add to our collection yesterday, so I was super excited about that.
Awesome male.
I'll post a picture of him. Yeah, I'll post a picture of him soon. Let him adjust for a few days. Yep.
Yeah, but he came in such great shape. You know, he was instantly calm right out of the container and goes into his little quarantine area. He's all set in there and just a calm little guy. So super nice Gecko.
He's very cool. He's a white and yellow Max Snow Eclipse. So he's gorgeous.
Awesome.
Yep.
And we just filled in a spot this morning, actually, that we've been unsuccessful in hitting. And we're like, well, we're way behind on this. We know that, but we need to put a female in the rack that actually has some of this. So we grabbed a Pastave DG Clown female, pretty decent size, because we've missed on those pairings and we're not getting what we need. Sometimes your pairings aren't working out. Grab that animal, skip that pairing the next time, and kind of progress it that way. You know, you kind of have to go outside your own stuff.
Too, man.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, super pretty female. Really nice. So looking forward to her growing up. She's got about 6-7 months before she'd be able to produce for us. So fingers crossed on that one. She's an awesome animal and would really like to get that side of it going for your projects too, Jay. You want that DG Mojave stuff for different reasons. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Not a ton to cover. I think The one thing I would really like to get a little stronger in our shows weekly, for those people that keep coming back, obviously the Forge coin at the end, you're going to have that trivia opportunity for the things that are asked of Adam. Maybe something Jamie said, whatever. It's a random question she decides on, but stick around for that because $10 in your pocket. You got almost 30 different people to spend that with now. So Forge coin affiliate
29.
pool. Yeah, it's getting huge, and that was an ad this week as well. So Patrick down at North Florida Cold Blooded added him into that group. So we're getting a really nice group of different things to pick from for your discounts, if you want to call it that, your free cash towards whatever you want to push it towards. So pretty good program, and it's growing all the time, guys, and we appreciate everybody that's willing to do that and step up and go, yeah, I'm going to absolutely take Forge coin. We'll get it figured out on the back end. So that portion of it covered. I was headed a direction before I got onto the...
Were you going to talk about the Q&A after the hot seat?
Yes. Thank you, Jamie. I easily get sidetracked when I get onto a different tangent. So appreciate you reeling me back in. But Q&A audience, guys, think of your questions that you haven't seen Adam address. You haven't seen Adam talk about in all of his own shows and all of the different arenas you've seen him in, and throw them in there. We really want to get that interaction. We really like to hear from you guys what you want to know on the show, and highlight the guest, of course, in doing so. So right after the hot seat, guys, we're going to do that short Q&A. Anything that Jamie has starred throughout the show, whether it's 2 minutes in or 20 minutes in, we're going to try to address those if we can. Some good activity on that last week, but we'd like to see a few more that, hit on a particular topic. That helps us out, and it helps you too. You get the answer you want, hopefully. Maybe not the one you're looking for, but the one Adam's going to give you. Let's say it that way. But yeah, let's say hi to everybody out there, run our ads, and not cut into Adam's time too much here. Blakers, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming out, man. Every week, Blakers is out there watching the show. Appreciate it. Oh, we got South Park too. Yeet. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate it. Spring Creek's awesome, man. Mitzi, always out in the audience. Appreciate you. Concrete hand heart here, whatever I'm attempting to do. Concrete hands don't work so great for that. Tim, that's Dad out there. Mom and Dad come and watch every show still. I can't believe it. Top supporters. We got to get them uniforms or something.
He needs to hunt in my yard this year for deer season.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Send Tim out there to slaughter a few of those. Tyson, good to see you, man. Was a guest not too long back. Was a fantastic show. Very nice guy. Go back and watch that one if you missed it. Really a good show. Had a good time with Tyson. Connie, that's the other half. Probably trading drinks back and forth. Taking turns going to the liquor cabinet, I bet. Those two characters. I make them sound so terrible, don't I? Just throw them right under the bus. Now they're amazing. They come in every week. Brave, good to see you, sir. I know you had a smoothie earlier. I'm going to hear about it in the comments for sure. Appreciate you coming out. Big Dan, Vision Quest down there in Florida. Appreciate seeing Big Dan. And your animals are going into rotation, Dan. So we'll be sure to update you on what they produce for us here on this side. Dwight, happy Wednesday to you too, sir. Good to see you out here. Appreciate you coming out. And we got Duval. Always good to see Big Mike Duval out there, Morph Avenue. Hit up Mike, nicest
snake.
Guy ever.
That picture kills me. That snake looks fake. It's so freaking fat, man.
Right, I know it.
It's just
Big
huge.
albino retic. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Shauna, got more concrete hearts coming. If I could shape that, I should just give up on that.
Just a ball.
We'll keep trying, but
That's too funny.
It's a ball. Cute.
Aw, cute.
James Perry, good to see you, Silent Assassin from over at the Whiskey Bomb Network. I know he sits over in some of those shows and stuff, but James is out here all the time too. Appreciate that. Gentlemen, lady, room. Chris, good to see you, Mr. Eaton. Thank you for coming out. It looked like a super successful campaign on that Deeds Not Words, and we appreciate that, and everyone else out there should as well. So appreciate seeing you in here, Chris.
Yep.
Oh, who we have here? We have the name twin, Jamie Stewart, from over at Graceful Pythons. Super nice couple, man. These guys are amazing. And they do some 3D printing, guys. They're working on custom projects for us right now. So
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, super appreciate those guys for sure. Thank you for coming out. VA Morphs, how's it going, folks? VA, I know I've seen you all over the place at different shows and things. I appreciate you stopping in. Come back and see us too. I think you're gonna anyway after you get a full helping of Adam tonight. Adam's gonna entertain us. I'm just putting him on the spot before he even gets out here, but he'll be good for it. So
Yeah, you are.
I'm sure he's
VA Morphs. Yeah, well, nah, he's good. He's done bar gigs. He's safe back there.
Yeah.
Jason Opelt, good to see
Jason.
you, sir. Old family friend that swings in all the time and watches, so appreciate you, sir. Got to get
He
you
even
a
had
snake at some
song for a
point.
week.
He was
Yeah,
what?
until we got hit on the copyright
Said
infringement.
He even had a song. Yeah, for a week.
Yep.
For a week.
Yeah, I had a little clip of it, and man, I thought I was under the little clip, and it altered enough, and we're just not going to do that. So, Sammy Vargas, good to see you, sir. Got your shirts, Sammy. Thank you very much. Throwing those in the wash. I think that's shirt like number 32 from Sammy, but we like all the pink shirts around here. So
Sammy's
definitely
getting pretty
support those.
creative with his good mornings too, man. Had me laughing. I clicked it
When he
on. I'm on my way
pops
to
up.
work. Yeah, I'm on my way to work.
Slides into the frame.
Just a picture of like a chair, and all of a sudden, boop, there's Sammy.
Yeah, pop goes
That's
the weasel
funny.
style. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dickie Foster, that guy should be like in the top 10 NASCAR running every year with that name, but he keeps coming out to see us, so I appreciate you, Dickie Foster. Mariah Michelson, that's Brave's girlfriend, and well, we won't touch on that. Mariah, thank you for coming out. I'll leave like you guys' hilarity in the background. I won't touch on that just in case either of you might take it wrong, but appreciate both you guys 100%. Warrior Garden Exotics, good to see you. That's a new face in here too, but
Yep.
Adam's bringing people in. That's fantastic. Probably
Yay.
in here to see Adam. I'm more than sure. Probably caught a gig where he hit somebody with a Gibson and had to jump in. 319, Big Chris, appreciate you, sir. Good to see you out there. Thanks for coming in.
We're good.
We're good. We're all caught up.
Nice.
That can only mean one thing, guys. Look for... Did Pat make it into this reel? No, he didn't. He's going on the next one, right?
What?
North Florida, cold-blooded.
Yeah, I added him.
You got him in this one? Perfect.
If you updated it from the OneDrive, he should be in.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that. We want to make sure we include all the affiliates. Guys, watch really close. I know there's a name on this list that you'd like to throw $20 at, and there's a lot of people out there with $40, $50, $80 in Forge coins.
Yeah.
So check it out. Don't hesitate to reach out. Don't be shy with your Forge coin. It's already pre-spent, and you don't have to do a thing with it. So here we go, guys. We'll be right back with Adam. Appreciate you guys all hanging out tonight. See you in just a couple, if I can find the commercial spot. There it is.
Hey folks, here at The Forge we prioritize promoting people from the community, especially where we see opportunity to share some valuable insights or products with our followers. That is why we are thrilled to have BNS Reptilia as a sponsor. Chris is a fantastic example of bringing value to the community, with years of experience keeping a variety of animals from ball pythons and blood pythons to boas or colubrids and more. Chris brings a wide breadth of knowledge and a collection of beautiful animals. Chris also carries Coco2go and The Chipper, two of the highest quality reptile bedding products on the market. If you want to learn more about any of these species, are looking to add to your collection, or in need of some top-notch substrate, please don't hesitate to reach out to Chris at BNS Reptilia. Chris is also a member of a growing community of breeders who accept Forge coin, so don't forget to show them your Forge coin.
All right, we are back, and thank you to that whole group, Chris, Charlie, all the affiliates on that list. And I did skip over. Will, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming out. I did skip over some of the ones that we still need to put together, right? We got Rippin' Reptiles, got Greg and TJ over there. Fantastic couple, very nice people. Got some really nice animals coming too, so reach out to them. They're a proud sponsor and an affiliate. And we've got Rat Bastard down there, Mark Middlestedt, all the way in the Pacific Northwest. He actually just had a couple of really nice clutches, some pied stuff mixed in there, and not super common pied combos, so maybe something he's got out there looks, tempting to you, if you want to say it that way. Ash, good to see you, sir. Team Malice all the way with Ash. Appreciate you swinging out. And Bone Daddy. Got Vinnie over there in the opposite corner. He's up in the northeast, so he does all the laser engraving stuff, cutting boards. I believe he does glassware. I mean, I think that laser he has now pretty much does anything, and he'll do it custom. Plus, he's in Monarch, got tri-stripe stuff now, so he's got some really nice projects going too. So Vinny's a very nice guy, so we won't forget them. We'll get their commercials put together. Shout out to them to get us some commercial material. How about that? Can we turn it around and let's get some stuff back from them and turn it into a commercial form. But all right, we stalled long enough. Jamie, you ready to go back and get some trivia questions in the back? Sort some Q&A after hot seat, guys. So questions for Adam, please throw them in there. We will definitely try to hit those. Without further ado, let's bring out the barroom brawler, the Gibson Smasher, the
man, the myth, the legend.
Yep, I was waiting for a fill-in. Jamie, you got anything else you want to throw at Adam before he comes out here?
No.
Amazing. Just maybe amazing. Okay.
The amazing
Enough goofing around
Adam.
with it. Yes, all right. Let's get Adam out here.
There he is.
Adam.
I need all that in writing, okay? That's we're gonna need somebody to stand by that for me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for agreeing to come on. And I know, like I said earlier in the full lead in, hey, we've talked. I remember actually messaging you back in 2021, and you instantly replied. You said, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Nice to meet you. What can I help you with? And it's been hit or miss little blips and blobs throughout the thing, but you've always been super approachable and a very easy to talk to guy right out of the gate. Nothing coming with you as far as airs, things that you might bring from a different position that a lot of people carry. So appreciate that, Adam. Thank you for being genuine and approachable.
I appreciate it. And the door's open. The one thing I will say is that it goes two ways. Like people that, this is going to make me sound bad, but people that come across entitled or demanding, it's like, dude, come on. I don't know. I'm busy. People that are just like, hey, is there something that you can help me with on some insight or information? Like I'll give none of it's proprietary. I just happen to have learned it before you're going to learn it. And now we both know it and it's cool,
Yeah.
But like I say, just the one thing that kind of gets me is when people are like, and then can you show me this? And then can you do this? I'm like, well, I spent 5 years learning that. Like take a few of your own steps, but you guys are never like that. So no, anytime, man, anytime.
100% agree
absolutely.
with that, though. Yeah, that gets to be a whole deal.
Yeah, it does. And it can blow up fast. It goes from something very simple to hey, this is out of hand, and now my time has become worth more than what I'm doing here. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that I want to charge for my time, and I don't like it. It's just the perception when people are just like, okay, you gave an inch. How about we go a mile now? And it's like, man, I don't know. Anyway, that's I didn't come here to complain. That's not
right. No worries at all. And absolutely feel exactly what you're saying. So I think everybody does run into that. You've never been that way. I guess that was what I was leading in with. And,
cool.
Honestly, Eau Claire, a couple of months back, we show up to our first vending experience. You're there. You were right out there. Hey, can I help you haul stuff in? And we're going into setup time. You got plenty to do, Adam. I mean, appreciate it 100%. But I know you have things you can do at your booth and whatever. But you still threw out that welcome hand. So.
Stand up guy, man. That shows it right there.
I thank you, and I it was genuine. again, I don't know exactly how to put this. The better that we can make our industry look, the happier that I am. And the people that put the time and effort into making it look good, I'll do anything for, because there's certain rooms that you go to and you look around and you go, I hope the newspaper doesn't show up today, or the news or whatever, because this ain't going to make us look very good. And you guys, you all have put a lot of work in and a lot of effort and thought and care, and you're also good people. Like, I was joking to myself, like, this is like hanging out in the basement in Wisconsin, man. Like, I'm not a true Midwesterner, but in the little experience that I've been getting, like this, I was like, we're just, this is the Midwest right here,
Yeah. That's 70 show 2025, right?
That's right. Yeah. We're all grown up now, but exactly. That's what it is, man. Down in Red's basement right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Chris already throwing out all of the shameless plugs, but he's not wrong, right? So it's one of the main things that, at least in my mind, if people want to be familiar with Adam, people want to know Adam, that's very easy to do. You've got a great format and podcast in place. You actually do two now, right? You do the Tuesday night show and the Thursday morning show? Yeah.
So like Tuesday night is pretty aimed at pretty hardcore content, which is weird to say, but like industry focused, really kind of get down to the detail and the nuts and bolts and really understand, and sometimes get like really nerdy and dry. I like business. I like figuring out businesses. And so when people have something insightful, like I really want to pick it apart. Then Thursday morning, the whole driving concept was everybody that owns like more than 3 snakes, no matter any family gathering or cocktail party or, hey, this is my friend Adam, and then they're like, oh, you do what? Tell me about that. So like, it's myself that does what I do. And then one of my old buddies that has nothing to do with reptiles, knows nothing about reptiles, but he's a really inquisitive guy. He's a great conversationalist, smart, good-natured, funny, and just an old friend that's easy to hang out with kind of deal. And so we do that on Thursday mornings, and that is the dumbest name ever, but it's called Proper Cup of Joe. It's a little twist on Joe's name and coffee show in the morning. And funny thing, if you're going to start a show at 7:30 in the morning, don't move west and expect it to get easier, because now it's a 6:30 every Thursday morning show for me.
Right. I was going to say that does hit early here. Now, was that something you started prior to the move?
Yeah. I started when I was in Jacksonville, Florida. So that show, it's funny. I joke with Joe. I always say I've got to look up where the 2-year anniversary is, because, everybody likes milestones. I don't know where it is. So like this whole year is the 2-year anniversary. It's like the joke, like, it's happy anniversary, but somewhere, cause I moved in, we arrived in Minnesota, just before September 1st, 2023. So 2 years, coming up on 2 years ago. And we started the show before then. So somewhere in there, it's a little over 2 years now.
Okay. Gotcha. And I wasn't real sure on where that timeline cut was. I mean, I was familiar with the show, but I don't keep that kind of information in a steel trap in my brain. It's in one ear and out the other. So even though you told me, I'll ask again. Have no fear.
So how long after the move did you start psychotherapy for figuring out why you moved from Florida to Minnesota?
Oh, well, I don't want to get into all of that, but I love it, man.
Do you? That's good.
Yeah, I really enjoy Minnesota. I like, now some of it has to do with like sort of the place I'm at in life too. Florida was a stepping stone from a really crazy place. My wife's family is up here. We have seasons, and I won't go too crazy, but there's a nice art form in the Midwest where you can have discussions that are perhaps in disagreement or disagreeable, and they stay discussions. Where Florida's not strong in that area. There are people that are very good at it, but the whole theme of it was not so hot.
You might get shot, kind of a deal.
Or challenged to be shot. Yeah, one of the two. And then honestly, all of that stuff aside, the other problem, and this has I don't know, maybe people think this is not political. We had 3 Cat 3 or greater storms in a calendar year come right over our head, which drives insurance costs up, and insurance companies are businesses. They want to make money. I'm not going to bat for them. I'm just stating a fact. They go, hey, you know what's kind of dumb? Insuring homes in Florida, we're out of here. Yeah. And so suddenly you have like the most valuable asset in your life that's almost impossible to insure, or you got to pay.
That's a nightmare, man.
40-50% of your annual salary to have it insured. And it was getting tougher and tougher and tougher to make work. And one day it was just kind of like, what are we fighting for? What are we doing here? And then Kelly, my wife, she said, well, if we move again, because we'd moved several times for my jobs over the years. And she goes, if we move again, you know where I'm taking you. And I was like, this one's yours, babe. Let's go. We've done okay on mine. This last stop wasn't great, so let's go. No, I love it. I'm really happy, and it's a good place for my son and my family.
Gotcha.
And like I say, seasons are nice. I know that's weird to say, but I love them.
No, glad to hear it, man. If you can get past the winter, that's, I think, the shocking thing for people that haven't experienced it. But if you can get past that, it is. The change of seasons is awesome. It's a good community of people, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty healthy. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I had 2 sort of things that helped me. I did spend time in Maine. My mother's family is from Ontario, and they emigrated to Maine. So I lived in Maine and then spent some summers in New Brunswick growing up as well. And then, so I've seen some cold weather, although not to get all like, oh, it's colder here. It's cold, man. This is some cold. This is a different kind of cold, man. I haven't experienced that. But it is cold. But then everybody makes sure to tell me almost immediately that I've not really experienced a Minnesota winter yet. Is like, I'll be like, I'm doing all right. And they're like, yeah, no, you're not. You suck. You haven't gotten cold yet. Okay, fine. I'm sure I'll hear that for 30 years because people would be like, well, when I was a kid, the snow was 12 feet high. I know. It was all worse, and I'll never understand. But anyway.
So what that stems from, I was going to say what that stems from, Adam, is that you don't see anyone up here shirtless because on their chest is tattooed the coldest winter they survived. Okay. So it's like a little barometer. It's a must if you're up here. So if you haven't seen the 40, 50 below stuff, then it's like this little badge of honor. It's like the 4-star general with all the little leaves and, purple hearts up there. You feel like you have really pulled through something special, so...
Well, I'm not like here to suffer. I'm good. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool with what we've had, but I do know Upper Midwest suffering is a pride point and maybe even a skill. I'm learning that. So okay, fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So true.
Well, there comes Mom and Dad. We're going to get the Midwestern stuff.
Here we go. Yeah, lay it on me. Yeah.
And it changed direction, so we had to go uphill both ways to school, Yep. So that's the whole northern thing. But I think fairly everyone out here, or at least the names I'm seeing flash up in the little comments popping in and things, are pretty familiar with you. They're going to have a little bit of an understanding how your progress is, where you're sitting now, Adam. But can you walk us through a little bit what like this transition from an entrepreneur and actually restaurant management, right, to reptiles? Like I have a very tough time with that whole swap, although a lot of things do carry over, right? A lot of skill sets are comparable in both arenas, but how did that occur? Like what put you onto reptiles to begin with?
Restaurants were my career. They're where I feel the most comfortable, and there's a certain part of it and a certain part of my career and my time and my life that I loved it. It was fantastic. And it's a matter of fact why I wear a chef coat to this day. It reminds me of that time. It's a matter of respect. You put this on and it just means something to me. And I'm sure that maybe, and I do not equate these two things, but I can imagine veterans when they wear a certain piece of attire or see a certain type of recognition or a memorial or whatever it might be. And I, like I said, don't equate the two things, but I do hold it in that high of esteem. It's something I worked very, very hard for. And ironically, I never called myself a chef. I'm not a chef. I want to be clear on that. But the service, the pride, the love, the care that comes with this jacket is why I wear it, and the respect for the people that I worked with for so long. I got through, I did well. I was good at it. I really enjoyed it. I went from Ruby Tuesday for 10 years, started as a dishwasher, ended as a general manager, to private clubs in the golf industry. Turns out they don't build golf courses in gross places, and they tend to pay a little bit more, and there's some nice perks. So I worked for the PGA Tour for 7 years, I think, and then started to get like recruited and poached by the really high-end private clubs. So I worked at some places that had the helicopters flying in, and it's anyway, very odd life and lifestyle. And then actually, in contrast to that, the very last property that I worked at was a little bit more of a blue-collar retreat. It was actually a lot of the retirees from like the Rust Belt, particularly from Indiana, Ohio area. And I was really able to relate to those folks. I actually lived in the community, which I could never have afforded to do prior to that. And then a couple things happened. One, I went from being really good in restaurants as a single guy to getting married and then becoming a father. And that's really hard to do. You work on weekends, you work when everybody else is off. And it became a real sort of weight, and it was tough because you go, well, this is the life you signed up for and how you provide for your family. And that started to weigh on me. And then COVID came along, which, again, I don't want to dive into certain aspects of it. But where we were was this very remote, it was a resort, but a lakeside golf resort in rural North Carolina. And at the time, everybody wanted to get out of cities. Everybody wanted to work remotely. You needed to be outdoors and 6 feet from people and all of that stuff. And we exploded. It went bonkers up there. And that was great for business. But if you also remember, people either didn't want to work or couldn't be relied on to work because you would catch COVID and you had to get quarantined. And that was the honest people. Then the dishonest people would just call you and say they'd been in contact with somebody and they weren't coming. And then the people that came to the resort, they did have some spare luxury money. And so some of them were entitled. And they all came from 50 states with 50 different governors and 50 different laws that didn't know North Carolina's laws. And I didn't care if I liked or hated the laws. I was just trying not to get fired or go to jail. And so all of those things together, you start going,
sounds like a blast.
Yeah. That's before you get the drunks and the stereotypes of the employees and all of that. So somewhere in there, I was like, you know what? I miss having a snake. I had snakes and fish and geckos and reptiles in college, and I loved them. And so my son got a bearded dragon, and then we went to a Repticon in Asheville, and I walked in and I remember this day, I saw all the different pieds, and I lost it because I remember in college, this would have been 98, 99 in Gainesville, Florida. And I can't remember if it was Ben Cole's store or if I just saw Ben Cole in there. He's a pretty memorable guy. But I remember they had a pied in there, and I can't remember exactly what the price was, but I remember saying to myself, first I remember saying to myself, what the hell is that? What is that? And then the other thing I remember saying to myself was, I could buy that snake or I could buy a brand new Mercedes. So whatever, I don't know what they cost at the time, the Mercedes or the what's it called? The pied, but they were equivalent. Spring Creek Serpents will know. I lived in Lake Lure is exactly where I lived. Spring Creek Serpents, they'll know exactly where I'm talking about, where that resort was. So, Anyway, I bought a banana pastel, as one does when you decide you're excited about ball pythons, and And then I started watching YouTube, and then I learned that you could like breed them, and there were all these morphs, and I was figuring out, what a recessive and a dominant, blah, blah, blah. And I remember Chris Hardwick, one episode, he says something about investment. And I was like, turns out maybe I was more right than I realized at the time. But I remember tongue in cheek saying to myself, you dummy, you don't know what the difference between investments and trinkets are. And I was like, these aren't investments.
It's just a time period, right? Where does it fall on the timeline?
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, maybe I was more right than I knew. And then he said something about like, he would show all the slides of the different combos of the different genes, and they were Morph Market slides. And I went to Morph Market, and there were snakes that were like 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. And I'm the kind of guy, I'm not as good at it as say like Charlie at shed testing is, but I'm the kind of guy that goes, well, if you can do it, I could figure this out. I'm going to figure out how to do this. And that was just right on from there, man. So I didn't quit to just get into ball pythons, but that was part of it. The other thing was I don't even remember. I said I lived at that property or that resort. Our property skyrocketed. Everybody wanted to move to the country and work remotely, and it was the new lifestyle. So we really cashed in on the house, and we had a rental property in Florida that we actually moved back into. I wanted to get out of restaurants because I wanted to spend time with my family, but it was still my expertise. So consulting was where I went to, and I still do. I still have a hospitality consulting company today.
Oh, nice.
And then I said, let me go figure out this thing where they're making all this money in snakes. And I'm still working on figuring all that out. There's your long answer caught up. Sorry for the long-winded stuff.
No, that was great. Really good insight.
Yeah. And a perfect timeline, again, for those people that aren't fully familiar with that. They're going to see your show. They know who you are at this point, but they don't get to hear that progression, right? And I think, our audience is going to kind of more lean toward, I don't want to say newer people, but people coming into this and maybe picking up, a different perspective. So to see where things can come from and filter into this is fantastic. That's perfect.
Thank you.
So
you had asked about some of the overlap. One of the there's two big things. One is like the systems, the processes, and the volume of restaurants. Like some of the guys that have helped me in cleaning along the way, or that come to the shop and help work sometimes. Everything is like an assembly line. Just, if you ever wonder how we feed 120 people at a wedding in 10 minutes, well, it's processes and efficiency. And it's kind of like that. If you have 300 snakes, how are you going to deal with them and not go crazy? The other thing is restaurants, we have all heard it, but restaurants live on razor thin margins. Like if I could live and survive and be good in restaurants for 2.5 decades, I was like, man, I bet I know something. Anything. Yeah, I was like, I bet I know something or have some insight that the average person doesn't. Like I always kind of look for like a secret weapon, and I'm like, I bet that could be my secret weapon. So that's really where it gave me a little bit of inspiration to tackle it that way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally kind of not off topic, but a little side. Have you seen The Bear or Bear? The show, is that at all like, is there any realism in that at all? It's pretty crazy. It's a good entertainment show, but
it's very real. And I'll tell you how real it is to me. There's a chef named Curtis Duffy, and there's a director, which was my role. So the front of the house that kind of oversees the business and the service is usually the director, and the chef is usually left alone to do their own thing. So there's a chef named Curtis Duffy and a director named Michael Muser. And they started off in a restaurant together called Grace, and then they had a restaurant called Ever. And Ever is in The Bear. And some of their stories from a documentary called For Grace are play out in the storyline in The Bear. So I don't know them well enough to know that I'm certain they consulted on that show and maybe signed off and sold some of their story to the show. But in my helicopter pad billionaire days, I was never the billionaire, but working for them, I worked a benefit dinner down in Naples, Florida, the Naples Winter Wine Festival, and Curtis Duffy and Michael Muser were the presenters that evening, and I was the sommelier, and the three of us worked together and put on a big show for one night. But the Bear probably has like the best restaurant consultants that I've ever seen come through the storyline and the fictional storyline. This is really cheesy and goofy. I know. I actually stopped watching it because it pulled at some memories that I have to tell you, it was when I left restaurants, it was a dark place, and it pulls at it. And then the other thing, and I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't know that this happens, but there's a guy in the movie who finds out his mother has cancer. And I was like, his mother's going to die too. And my mother passed of cancer 15 years ago. So I was just like, you know what, this is amazing, but it's too
much.
It's too much for me. It's too close for me. Yeah. So I actually will go watch it one day. I'm not in the right place for it right now. That's all.
Yeah. Excellent show. One of my daughter's favorites. So I got into it because she watched it. And I'm like, yeah, let's check this out. It's actually really good.
Yeah, and it was really funny because I was telling my wife, I was like, these stories are from Curtis Duffy. And then there's the episodes where they're in Ever when the guy goes to Stage in the other restaurant. That's Ever. That's the restaurant. I was like, I knew it. That's it. Those are those guys.
Crazy. Yeah, and it's not always you want to sit on your off time and go stare in a mirror for an hour watching nightmares from your past, right? So,
right. No, they're too good at it. I like to say they do a great job at it. I mean, the stuff where it's like 10 days to open, 2 days to open, there's a line out front and we haven't hung it. When we opened that new clubhouse at TPC Sawgrass, that was my restaurant there. We were there that morning on the first day of the tournament when people were waiting to get in for the Players Championship, and we still hadn't hooked up like the soda lines and the lights. The electricians were still there installing the lights, and I'm like, it's a PGA Tour. Let's get this done, guys. What are we doing here?
Yeah, man, talk about sweating bullets.
Yeah.
So in that light, and this is purely just an outside curiosity, working through that PGA Tour, are you a golfer?
No,
do you enjoy golf?
I don't enjoy it one bit. No, okay. I do. Actually, the thing I appreciate the most is probably the golf courses, and it is a hard game. I respect it. I never enjoyed it. I throw my back out when I go golf, and then I hate to put it this way, but it just pisses me off. It's a stick and a ball, and I suck at it. Like, that's fine. You could take that entertainment somewhere else. No, thank you.
Right. Okay. So in all those dealings, I mean, TPC Sawgrass, that's a classic PGA Tour spot. Right. So have you come face to face and spent time with any of these top pros? Have you sat down with any of them and conversed? And if so, what was the best story?
Well, the best story is, and it's totally true, and there is a little bit of inspiration. The best. So to answer your question in short, yes, all of them. For 7 Players Championship tournaments, my area of responsibility was the player dining, the player family dining, the caddy dining, and then secondarily the restaurant. But we actually flew in other managers from all around the network of PGA Tour clubs that could handle the restaurant that was open to the public. I was responsible for handling, like I say, the locker room, player-only dining, player family, and caddy dining. So I was there day in and day out. So, and it's honestly like a little bit like a high school cafeteria. Like, there's people that have seen and done it all. And then maybe there's like, I don't know, a teacher or two that's like keeping, like, there's guys that would keep the young bucks in shape and straighten them out. There's people that didn't like each other. And then the second they walk out of the room, they're on their P's and Q's and all of that. But my shift was from like 2:30 in the morning. My job was to get everything kicked off and in order. And then I would usually work through late afternoon. And this is just for 7 days a week. Not every week, just those 7 days of the tournament. And I don't know, we opened player dining at like 4:30 or 5 or something. So I'm just, there's only like 3 or 4 of us there at that time. I'm whipping around the corner with a pan of bacon to put into they call them chafing dishes on the breakfast buffet in the player only dining. And man, I walk around the corner, fling open the door, boom, I run smack into the chest with this pan of bacon into Tiger Woods. And I'm like, who the hell is in my
He's like,
building
oh,
right now?
thank you.
Right. At that
No,
time.
he was so in the zone. He didn't say a word. He looked at me, and like we had to call everybody Mister. I said, "Oh, Mr. Woods, so sorry." And he goes, "No problem." And totally unflapped, and he walked right straight out to the driving range. It's pitch black dark, and all those things you ever heard about him being and this is at the height of his career, man. He was already a bazillionaire at that time. Height of his career, unflappable, unbothered, no nothing. And walks out to the driving range, and he's the first one out there in the morning and last one in the evening if he's not winning. But the really funny part of the story is I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jay, who is from Thailand. And Jay is one of these like restaurant mercenaries with me. He actually moved to North Carolina with me to take on a couple of the jobs that I worked there in North Carolina. And Jay was like the real maitre d' in the player dining. Like I didn't care for all the celebrity, but Jay loved golf and was in there with the guys. And Jay and Tiger spoke Thai to each other. And the joke was always, oh, Jay talks Thai to Tiger. And that day, because Tiger Woods' mother is Thai, I said, Jay, because your point is to like be there, but not really be there, be present, but don't get in the way. They don't want to chat with you kind of thing. So that day I went to Jay. I said, hey, Jay, make sure everything's cool with Tiger. I didn't mean to bang into him. If would I have to get him a shirt or something via grease or whatever? And like he's like cooking him an omelet, talking to him in Thai, and then he just walks by me, no explanation, and he goes, "Tiger's cool." And that was all he ever said about it. I don't know anything more.
Big bacon stain down the chest. I'm surprised he didn't grab one. Like, who can resist bacon? Even in the most awkward circumstance, you gotta grab a strip of bacon, don't you?
I would think he didn't know. He just, it was like a robot, man. I mean, in that moment, he was just so dialed in. And let me tell you too, like he was solid, just a brick house. I was like, when like you don't expect somebody to be there and you're focusing, and I was like, what did I hit? And I was
a post,
Tiger.
yeah.
I just hit Tiger Woods. So there you go. That's a PJ story for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had to touch on that. I figured in that light and in that environment, you're going to have those elbow brushing stories that are interesting, right? It's always cool to hear. But he was very well known for that. And I think every story you ever hear from someone was that was like his biggest, I guess, community detriment, was that the focus was so laser focused that a lot of the easy relationships he could have made through the process were foregone for that robotic environment. Like, I am going to be on point, but it's just what you hear. So
but you hear the greats. You hear about Jordan, you hear about Kobe, LeBron.
Right.
Saying, LeBron, why is LeBron still in the gym at 4 a.m? I don't know. I'm not made of that, but I've seen it, and you hear that of the greats, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So that's awesome. I mean, we've got a lot of background covered and some cool little stories, but
there you go.
Let's talk about Adam, where he is now. I mean, you have a fairly sizable collection. I mean, that's grown a little more controlled than a lot of people we see come in. You've made some really nice moves as to what you acquired and to the projects you're looking at and going into. You've really had that structured from the get-go, but how do you sit for like numbers now, and like what would you say your project count is? I hate that terminology, but projects you kind of focus on and say, these are my goal areas. These are the ones I want to focus on.
Gotcha. So I'm up at around 300 animals, give or take, these days, based on what's selling, what's hatching, where I'm at. I always thought when people said that, they were just being like highbrow. Like, how could you not know exactly how many you have? I really don't know. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
I know my capacity is a little north of 300, and I'm a little under capacity right now. So that's kind of that. Breeding females this year was around 50, 55, somewhere in there that I planned to pair 55. Some of them I didn't pair because I didn't quite make the number or the body condition that I wanted. And then others, of course, won't go. So I'll probably do 35 clutches this year. As far as like buying controlled things. Again, this is probably my old restaurant blood, but I was always a believer. You always had that I need to have cash flow. If the money's not coming in, I can't have it going out. And you need your starter money because you can't just, if we could just magically make money coming in, we'd come in, we'd never go into business, right? You would be fine. So you got to have some starter money. But after the starter money, I really wanted to be a program of, and you can't always do it because there's seasonality. But if I know, for example, right now it's kind of a slow lull in the summertime. It just happens. It's everybody's traveling, everybody's running up their credit cards, going to Disneyland or wherever they're going. So the money slows down, and I know I've got 20 or 25 clutches still to hatch this year. So I know, because I've had enough experience now in this, like 5 years, to see kind of how my seasonality is, I know I'm going to have a little influx of money. So I can spend a little bit right now knowing that it's around the corner. But in general, I like to have a money in before there's money out program. So like a lot of people, and a lot of people did things a lot of different ways, but a lot of people told me I couldn't make it or I'd never last if I didn't drop, 4 figures on or 5 figures on investment grade animals that I had to have to stand out. My thought was always, well, none of what we're really doing is proprietary. All those expensive animals will be there in the future and they'll be cheaper when I do go buy them. So I don't see the rush in it. I see the rush in, and I always joke about this. This is kind of my like punchline, but I do mean it. If you could figure out how to sell a banana enchie and make money, you'll have no problem selling the Sunset Ultramel when you get a chance to make that. And so that's really kind of what I set out to do it that way because I had to do it. I didn't have a big pile of money. Or the money I made on the house, I wasn't going to put into ball pythons. That's money that I, was like, okay, if I put that away, I'll be all right for a long time in the future. So I really thought about things that way. And again, to just tie things back, because I always do, restaurants are the same way. You don't buy perishable goods before you need them. If you have a wedding this weekend, you buy the fresh ribeye or filet mignon this week for this weekend. You don't buy it before you need it. You don't buy it as a trinket. You don't buy the Kobe beef just to show off that you have it. You buy it when you need it and when it makes sense to buy it. And that's just ingrained in me. That's just how I live my life. So, anyway, to more exciting stuff, I'm at the point now where I've got a lot of projects, and I don't really even believe in calling them projects. I think everything is, if overlappable is a word, I think everything is overlappable. Yes. This isn't reality, but it does sort of drive some of my decision making. I picture a scenario. What if there were no labels whatsoever on any snakes in the expos? Then what would they be worth?
Right.
Then
just purely by appearance.
They would have to be badass and deliver for people to give you money for them. And at the end of the day, that's my driving force. Now, that doesn't totally work because we need hets and certain things like pieds don't look nearly as good in their het form, but you still need them. So like I say, it's not a perfect world. But that inspired me. There was some time, maybe about 2 years ago, I saw a super gravel and I said, holy, what is that? And then I really kind of dug into some really thoughtful, thoughts. That's redundant. You know what I'm saying? I really got thinking. And John Daig, I always thought it was a really interesting business model where he only deals in axanthic. And so you say, that's a really limiting project. It's not limiting. You can have axanthic pied. You can have axanthic clown. You can have axanthic clowns. You can have axanthic clown pies.
Like 50,000, right?
Yeah. There's nothing limiting whatsoever about it, but it became his identity. Yeah. And I said, and so, and I'll tie this all together here. So I kind of think of ball pythons almost sort of like a wine spectrum, but I think of color, pattern, and contrast. And they're sort of my 3 sliding scales. And to me, the best super gravels are really, really good on color, pattern, and contrast. So, okay, I got something that does kind of really good across those 3 things. And then the John Daig mentality hit me where I said, everything's going to be super gravel. There's no,
why not?
I can
Man,
work
you and I
candy.
are right on the same wavelength, Adam. I'm telling you.
So I could work
My favorite.
candy. Yeah, I could work candy. I could work Axanthic. I could work clown Axanthic. I could work, only the one area that kind of hits a wall, super gravel pieds, to me at this point don't really deliver. The pattern gets wiped out and sort of smeared. So then it's like, well, that's shooting yourself in the foot. But otherwise, like, it's amazing. And it's really, really untapped. Like, I don't think there's ever even been a mahogany super gravel, much less a mahogany super gravel clown. It's going to look phenomenal. It's going to deliver when that happens. So anyhow, that's where I'm at now. But I think I counted, I have like 12 or 13 recessive projects, and I don't even know how many non-recessives at this point.
So I got a follow-up that fits in there pretty good, specifically about breeding plans.
Yeah.
And so what I'm curious about is when you sit down for next year, and you're going to sit down, you're going to go, this is what my breeding plan is going to be, if you do that.
I do.
Okay. So do you base that, is that purely based on projects, or do you have a percentage where you're like, okay, these are going to be some project ones, then I'm going to have these for table fodder makers, and then I'm going to have these for experiment? You know what I'm saying? Is there like a percentage of breakdown, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, almost zero from an experiment standpoint, almost zero from like, hey, I think this is a cool dinker, or I think what's the most famous line? Oh, there's something going on here. I don't deal in there's something going on
long
here.
Road, man.
I don't have the next 10 years of my life to hope really hard. Maybe some amazing things have passed through my hands. I don't know. There is one gene that I don't know why. I held on to it. Hear me out, because I ended positively on it. But it was this guy in Florida had named it Centauri, and I bought this collection when somebody was getting out, and this female is beautiful, and she's labeled as a vanilla Mojave Centauri, and I can't even see what he says is supposed to be the Centauri gene in it. It just looks like a really incredibly vibrant vanilla Mojave. And she's this big girl. And I said, you know what? Let me see. I got a cool, it was a leopard orange dream clown. I said, you know what? I'll make a bunch of cool het clowns that maybe could be cool combos. And I tell you what, I hatched 3 animals that look nothing like I've ever seen from that female. And I said, well, these are cool. Okay. I guess I'm going to work this project. So chalk me up for the Centauri project. If it goes anywhere, you heard it here. And if it doesn't, don't worry, you'll never hear of it again. So now the flip side of that is, and not in a flippant way, Billy told me, he's told people he thinks that's just a line of vanilla. So for all I know, I'm working a line of vanilla. I don't think that that's the case, but, and that's not a shot at Billy. Billy's awesome. But anyhow, we'll see. But I don't, that's the only one where I'm like, oh, maybe there's something here. No, I'm not the guy for that. Then to the meat of your question, after that, it's probably like 80-20, 80 projects and almost brand identity. Like, I think the next 2 years needs to be, Adam is the super gravel guy. I'm not there yet. And actually there's a guy making banging super gravel clowns this year. Man, he was like 2 years ahead of the thought process that I had. And I want to get him on the show here real soon. And I forget, I think it's RP or RN reptiles. I have to look. If you go on Morph Market and just look where the coolest super gravel clowns are, he's there. And I've heard he's a great guy. And he's doing amazing things. So like, that really stings. I'm like, oh, this guy is taking my thunder. How am I going to be the guy if he's out there? But it's really brand building. And then finding neat new things. So jeans I really like. I said before, mahogany and super gravel I haven't seen. I think dark jeans and mahogany just has such nice glow about it. I think it's going to be beautiful and amazing, especially in the clown form. So anyhow, I work probably 80% things within the project or projects. And I have some outside of it. Like I like Ultramel Pied a lot. So I'm doing cool stuff with that. That's a little outside of it, but that way you could build Patreon following of, oh, I want to work that stuff that Adam has. And I want to be, I like his mindset and I want to be first in line when those come up as an opportunity, all of that kind of stuff. So it helps the brand to stick with the project stuff that you become known for. And then, I still think bananas are really, really cool and amazing. And they'll eventually go into the super gravel area as well. But I don't mind the byproducts of selling those for table fodder. So I don't hold back on banana. It doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, I need to post a picture on it. Maybe we can like make a dual clip of it. Probably like one of those animals, if there was no label on it and you just stuck it in the middle of a show. Are you guys going to be in Eau Claire this next month?
No, we won't be in Eau Claire. We're headed over to Wausau. So we're going to do
the same weekend. There. Gotcha. Okay, I was going to say, maybe I'll bring it. It is a super banana. So it's a super and an allelic complex, or combo. So it's a super banana, cinnamon, het red axanthic. This thing is brighter neon than this is. It's a male. Like, what a powerful breeding male. Everything's going to be banana. Everything's going to have a dark gene in it. If they miss, like, say I pair it to, I don't know, a leopard clown female, all the ones that I miss that don't have leopard are going to be amazing show fodder. It's going to be fantastic. So I do think that way. I still kick myself that I'm not breeding. Why am I not breeding bells? Everybody asks at every show, why am I not breeding bells? I want to go buy 5 females and 1 male bells and just make them forever. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just
come across the border when that time approaches, pick a few up, and go back to Northfield.
Right.
Take a few with you.
Let me know. Yeah, like it's and like everybody's got some answer or something to say about people buying bells. That was the second snake that I bought with the intention to breed. And now look at almost all of us can say that. Yeah, they sell. Yeah. And then I bought these other, I didn't buy all 300 of them. I bought my stock from somebody. May as well have been from the guy that sold me the bell in the first place, right? Like I could be that guy. I could be your gateway. So like do it. Like if it sells, breed it, man. If it will brighten somebody's day, I'm for it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's not really a great segue, but we're going to do it anyways, just purely looking at the clock. We're going to throw you in the hot seat with Jamie, and these will be super rapid fire stuff. We're going to get into things that are actually really silly, like would you prefer flip-flops or hey dudes kind of question. So here we go.
It's like
are you all set? Yeah.
I promise some truth serum here. Hang on.
He's prepping as we speak. So Jamie's ready back there. Adam, good luck, sir. Jason and I will see you right after. We'll pick up where we left off. We'll hit some more of those topics, but
all right,
this is what everybody comes here for in the end. They want to see pretty faces and silly questions. So let's fire that up. Here we go, guys.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha. Let's go.
Hello.
I'm loving the crowd. This is great. By the way, I know that we got to get kicking on this. Thanks for doing the custom intro. Was just a wonderful addition and really flattering. Thank you. That's a lot of work.
It's so fun. I love it.
Okay.
All right. Are you starting to sweat yet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're sitting by the fire there.
Yeah, I feel it.
All right. Country or city?
Probably country.
Okay. Palm Street or Morph Market for your auctions?
I mean, for my auctions, definitely Palm Street for my auctions. Yeah.
Okay. Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix?
Oh, you can't do that. Jimi Hendrix got to. I mean, I mean, what are you going to say? I gotta. They're both there, but I guess if one has to be one, yeah, Hendrix.
Yeah. All right. Which band would you rather hang out with? Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd?
Led Zeppelin.
Okay. Midlife crisis sports car or dream reptile?
Dream reptile. I could put it with another reptile and actually make more money. A sports car you will never put with another sports car, and it will never make a third sports car if you put it side by side with one.
Right. And living in Minnesota, you probably wouldn't be able to drive it in the winters. Would you rather jam with strangers in a bar or handle random reptiles in front of a crowd? Like somebody just hands you a monitor or something.
Oh, yeah, I'll jam with strangers. Yeah, I'll do that one. If it's got to be a cool bar, but yeah, I'll jam with strangers on that one. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Which is more difficult for you, guitar solos or vocal harmonies?
Oh, harmonies. I suck at singing. I am at best acceptable. That's it. That at the very best. Yeah.
I wish I could say I was acceptable at singing. Which is more fun, Saturday night gig or Sunday morning cup of joe?
Honestly, these days, Sunday morning cup of joe.
There is a time and a place, right? Saturday
Yeah,
night.
the gigs are earlier now. Thankfully, they're earlier now. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
usually in bed after a gig now. When I was leaving 4 gigs,
Right?
5 or not too long ago, actually. Yeah, I've come to appreciate the early gig. Yes.
Awesome. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Like in life, in the industry, in business, just in anywhere.
Just, I mean, it can be like a pen click or a loud chewing gum person, anything.
Oh, it's just how do I put this? Entitled snobbery that just thinks that they're owed something. I have very, very horribly little bit of patience for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super annoying for sure. If you could
There you
travel
go.
anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
If my buddy Jay that I mentioned earlier would come with me and sort of be a tour guide liaison, I'd go to Bangkok right away. I want to go to Thailand. I want to go. Oh yeah, I want the street food. I want the nightlife. I want the big city. Absolutely, that's where I would go. Yeah.
It looks cool over there too. I used to work at a bank, and one of my coworkers, she's from Thailand, and she'd show us pictures all the time, and it looked so awesome there.
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one day.
Yeah, very cool. On the bucket list.
Yeah.
Would you rather spend a weekend at a reptile show or a 3-day music festival?
Oh, a reptile show. I'm too. I went to a music festival this weekend. It was called the Minnesota Yacht Club. I saw Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Hosier, who else? Sublime. Like I did the festival thing.
Yeah.
I'll take Tinley for 3 days then over that these days. Yeah. Yeah.
You're so tired when you get home. Like, oh man. Feeding day or rat cleaning day?
Oh, feeding's way more fun. I do them both, but yeah, I'll take feeding day anytime.
Does your wife help you with any of the chores?
No. She, to her credit, well, here's how cool she is. If I'm out of town and there's eggs, she'll pull a mom off eggs and pull eggs. So she can do the stuff.
Yeah.
But she's going to make sure I take care of that. Yeah.
That's funny. What is your favorite hobby outside of music and reptiles? We know it's not golf.
No, it's not golf whatsoever. Gosh, I don't know. I know it sounds cheesy. I like. How do I put it? Actually, here's the easy answer. It's fishing. I would go if I wasn't doing those other two. I would go fishing any day of the week instantly, and I would love to. I was going to say it's cheesy. Like I just like family time and relaxing. Like I still I worked so many holidays and weekends where I'm still
Right.
kind of blown away, where I'm like, I can just, you get institutionalized. Like I'm still, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird that I could just be like, oh, it's okay if I just hang out on a Saturday. Like,
Right.
it's weird. Yeah. So, but yeah, fishing though, that would be the one.
You'll have to come ice fishing with us this winter.
I
That'd be
will.
awesome.
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too far for you. Fun. If you had the chance to be immortal, would you take it?
Oh yeah. I want to live forever. Yeah. And it's not because I'm greedy. No, I want to see no hesitation.
It
I want to
was so
see,
good. Yeah.
oh, I want to see what my son does. I want to see like what comes of like my friends and their families and like all these exciting things that I want to see through. I want to see a clown, a xanthic leopard super gravel. I'm going to need
Right.
to be immortal to see that come to life. Like, yeah,
Right.
I definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Easy.
It would be hard though once all of the people that you know and love currently are gone and there's all these new people all the time. Every
Yeah.
100 years, you got to make new friends.
Right. Yeah. I
That'd be
guess what is the expression of the devil, you know? Like at least I know what's here and
Right.
not what's over there. I don't know what's over there. Like I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
There's some pretty
Right.
rough tales of what's over there. So I'll just hang out here, you know.
So good. Oh, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who are you going to pick?
Oh, who am I going to pick? I kind of think Foghorn Leghorn's pretty cool. He always seems like he's got a little buzz, but he's got like a stroll. Yeah, he's like a cartoon Ric Flair of the barnyard, you know? Like I like Foghorn Leghorn.
You're like, come on, little buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chicken Hawk over here. Let's go, man.
What do you find most challenging about breeding reptiles?
Patience. I
Yeah.
suck at being patient. Oh, it's the worst. And really the time. And I joked we joked a minute ago about being immortal, but like I'm 45, which is not that old. On the other hand, I'm not 20, like some of the hot shots
Yeah.
doing things right now. And
Right.
I literally worry about not having time to see through so many things that really excite me to figure out. And
Right.
so, yeah, patience is a real challenge for me.
Right. It's a good answer. What advice would you give to somebody wanting to grow their social media presence?
Okay. The short answer is interact. The long answer is it's in the name. It's social. The algorithms want to see you social. If you're contributing to the community, it will reward you with interaction and your little tokens of social media that we love, which are followers, likes, subscribers, all that thing. And Google is arguably the smartest entity that's ever existed in our universe. And its job is to put people together that like each other. And the more you interact, the more you're going to tell Google how to put you together with people that you like. Interact, go like, follow, comment, and interact with people.
Yep. How important do you think hashtags are during that process?
No idea. I've been told they're important. I use them. No idea if I've never run a study of with them and without them. I use them.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. No idea.
Right. Okay. Who are your biggest business role models?
Oh, that's pretty cool. So personally, there's a gentleman I still work. He it might make me cry. I resigned. He was the GM at the last property I worked at, and I resigned. And I explained to him I was leaving, and I was going to start a consulting business, and I was cashing out the house, and I got the property through COVID, and I'm checking out. I've had enough. And he so gracefully said, "Can we be your very first client then, as your consulting business?" And that was February of 2021. So we just passed 4 years. He's an incredibly insightful person, and he's become a good friend, a mentor, and he came from a background of Toyota manufacturing. So they have really a business philosophy that's known as lean. And lean philosophy, if you want to really get into just the nuts and bolts of efficiency and processes, check out Lean. And there's a great book called The Lean Farmer that talks nothing about car manufacturing. It talks about a farm that employed lean practices and became profitable. Anyhow, there's him, the gentleman that rolled the dice on me as a young kid from Ruby Tuesday. His name was Stephen Jones. He was a great mentor at the PGA Tour. And then as far as like books and inspirations, I actually do like Jack Welch from GE. He's kind of a hard ass and his time is kind of come and gone, but his principles are really, really outstanding. And then I can't think of the guy's name. There's a book called Lynchpin that's a really good like marketing / business inspiration book. And it basically says, you've got to be the linchpin. You've got to be the most important component in whatever world or industry or business or team you're working in. And that really spoke to me as well.
Yeah, that's very true also. You get out what you put in, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of a deal. Yeah.
And even if you don't achieve it, the mindset of working toward that or being that important to the organization, whatever the organization is, it will make you better, and it will make you, it'll make you indisposable. When the time comes for layoffs, you're not the one that gets laid off then. And sorry to be insensitive to anybody who's gone through that. It's the worst. I've been there, but that's my point.
Right. Very good. You have a commitment-free Saturday. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm probably going to see if my wife wants to do anything because we both stay really busy. If you haven't, well, I stay busy. She stays happily non-busy. She stays happily relaxed. But I think that she's happy for me to stay busy. So I'll see what she wants to do. If I'm staying in Northfield, I'll try and go for a bike ride in the morning and then maybe figure out a fishing trip or figure out something to do with my son or family time in the afternoon. And then I'll cook dinner and we'll have a fun dinner and a fun family night. If I can get out of Northfield and just have a Saturday afternoon, I'll go up to the cities. I'll go to Kramarczyk's Polish Deli. Best smoked meats in the Twin Cities. And then about 4 blocks. Oh, yeah. Right next door to Kramarczyk's is a pizza joint called Punch Pizza. That's a really nice kind of, I think they call it Neapolitan pizza. Wood fired. I go in there, I grab a little bit of lunch after I got my cabanossi from the Polish deli. And then like 4 blocks around the corner, there's a pub that's called Brit's Pub. And it's a British pub, and they have a rooftop bar. But not only do they have a rooftop bar, they have a rooftop lawn, and you can play bocce and lawn bowling. And on a big screen, they always have the Premier League games going on a Saturday morning. Wow. So you could go down there, watch your favorite team. We can watch Liverpool beat the dirt out of Chelsea and have a little pint up on top of Brit's Pub. We'll start there. We'll see where the day goes. How about that?
With a full tummy. Sounds awesome. This is the last question in the hot seat.
Okay.
If your younger self could see you now, what would surprise him the most?
Excuse my language, but all the shit that I used to worry about that didn't come true would amaze me. That's right. In a very serious way, and it's good to worry because it makes us be thoughtful and concerned and try and make good decisions. But all the times that I was petrified that I would get fired, or if I did get fired, it would be the worst thing in the world. Just all that stuff that we worried about and got just so and even made bad decisions because of our stress and worry. Yeah. It's most of it ain't going to happen. And all you're going to do is learn from it and be a badder ass person. And that is what I would tell myself. Yeah.
Awesome. You did fantastic in the hot seat. I love your answers. That was fun. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for everybody in the chat. We appreciate you being here. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Jamie's tagline on the way out of the hot seat every time after all of that fire, she goes right back to the meta statement, But dude, it cracks me up every time. Hot seat's amazing. It's fun. Stuff about you I would have never guessed in a million years. So that's kind of the point, right? Is we're in this industry where a lot of people have a lot of overlap. We've got a lot of the same animals, a lot of the same productions. In the end of it, it's going to come down to who do you like, who are you going to, who are you familiar with, who do you trust? Like, who is your guy to get this animal from, to some degree, right? So
Yeah.
I think that just is perfect for that, and I love the hot seat for that reason. You did fantastic in there, by the way. Thank you again, Adam, for your patience
That was
with all
fun.
of that.
Oh no, not patience. That was really fun, and it's fun to like. First, it's fun to be a guest on other people's show. Like, I even messaged you guys. I was like, "Do I need to prepare anything?" I'm like, "This is your show. You figure it out." Yeah, I'm cruising here, man. Like, I'm good. So it's really fun, and it's fun to see. Nice job, by the way, of like putting creative, interesting things in place. There's I don't know if we've crested the peak of like the podcast wave, but I feel like we kind of have. And the people that are what episode is this? Like 68? Did I see or something like that?
68. Yes. Yep.
That's a lot of episodes, guys. Like that's hard to do, and it's hard to keep going for that long. But I feel like the people that are still going and still putting out things, they're doing it because there's creativity and engagement. You got an awesome active audience here. I can't figure out how to comment back to people. I feel bad. I don't know how to comment on this platform, but
it should have really a spot for you. But I know it's a little weird on your end, and Evie Mux does a fairly good job of that. But I think there's a little spot you can kind of type toward the bottom. So
I see where it says I could search, but I can't find where to type. So I wasn't ignoring anybody. I'm just a dummy. That's all. I'm just an old dude in the room.
It's tough, you know, and you do have a little bit of a limited view. You get to see what's scrolling through. I could swear there's a place you can do that, but not being on that side of things for Evie Mux, I can't be specific. I apologize, but
that's okay. We don't even have to focus on it. That's not for the audience. I mean, let's give stuff to the audience, whatever we need to do.
Right. So one of the things we did not touch on, and we talked a little bit about your projects, your animals, you're moving from, you know, your hospitality side of things into reptiles, the overlap that's there, but we didn't touch on the things you've kind of accomplished in this arena already. So I'd like to, number one, congratulate you. You've done an excellent job with your podcast, your social media. You've really grown a great following. You've got 3.7K on YouTube. I mean, you've got a pretty strong group of people that continue to support you and come out and do, you know, really participate in your going forward. So part of what you picked up recently, I'm kind of curious about, was the whole Palm Street thing. That kind of came out of nowhere, being in plants, you know, mainly focusing in plants, let's just say that. But you picked up on that right away. You grabbed the opportunity and you seized a spot in there that's kind of unique. Can you talk to us a little bit about how Palm Street went with you and how that interaction really got going?
I'd be really happy to. So full disclosure, I work with Palm Street. Those of y'all that don't know me, I have a portion of my business that is advertising partners on Proper Royals Live, but also across the brand. So if I make an appearance and I'm loyal to Palm Street, plus it's just a cool banner. Like, it looks nice, right? There's a little contrast and a little glow. I was like, man, I'm just going to make it easy on me to pop it up there, which, by the way, like, that's like the secret to good merch. Like, get the most comfy t-shirt that somebody's always going to want to wear. It makes the design far less important if it's just, you know what I mean? So sometimes you just got to oversimplify things, but, no, there's a few really good lessons that I think people ask me, so I focus a lot on business in the podcast and some of my content. Robin at Redline Shipping had asked me to come out to, out to Colorado and do the very first AARPE show, which those guys are doing great, making some huge waves in the show market and the reptile show scene. And Robin said to me, have you ever heard of Palm Street? And I said, no, I haven't heard of Palm Street. And he says, they're pretty big time and they're here and they're wildly intrigued by what they're seeing going on in the reptile industry. I said, what is Palm Street? And he's like, it's this thing where people sell plants online. And I'm like, all right, okay, what are you fired up about? And like when Robin gets fired up about something, like he like latches onto it. Like he is
pit bull style.
Yeah, he's obsessive about it. And that's one of the secrets to his success. But I said, okay. And there was a guy that's actually no longer with Palm Street, but he was at that show. And I hear Robin saying like, oh, well, you need to meet Adam. He's the guy. He's doing media stuff, but he's also a legitimate breeder, and he's got inventory, and he's somebody that I work with, and he presents my brand really well. And this guy came up to me and he's like, would you ever want to sell on Palm Street? And I was like, I don't sell plants, this and that. And he says, no, we want to sell reptiles. And he said, we're actually just about to unveil the first round of people that can sell on Palm Street. And, Robin's in the shipping industry. If a platform sells a whole lot of stuff that has to ship a whole lot of stuff, he's interested in working with them. I don't think I'm pulling the curtain back on anything there. And So Robin they were interested in using Robin to consult for, I don't know about officially, but just conversationally at least, hey, who are people in the reptile industry that you can recommend? There I was. Right place, right time. This guy, and I don't want to say his name because, like I say, he's not at Palm Street anymore, and it wasn't exactly the best departure, but or maybe it was, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. So, but he was like, and he's like, what's with the chef coat? And like I told him that story, and then all right. Then he got down to business. How many animals a year can you sell? How often can you do this? Show me some of your media. And again, backdrops, lights, a good microphone, presence. And I became the very first person to be approved to sell a ball python on Palm Street. And then I did that. And some of the lessons there are like, you just got to go to, you don't know what you're going to find sometimes when you just put yourself out there. And some of the birds that flock together or run with the right crowd, align your brand with people with similar visions and missions and values. All that stuff is true. And that's how all that came to be. I just went because I was invited and it was a good place. I like being aligned with Redline and Robin. And, I'll be damned. Here came an opportunity that I wasn't given the job, but I got the opportunity to interview for it. First off, there I got it. So that was it. And we've grown from there. They've been very supportive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing platform. It's a completely different venue that's actually merging groups that would naturally align anyway, but they just stayed apart for whatever reason, right? I mean, you have these people that build these intricate terrariums and these bioactive environments with all these plants, and the necessity to know that side of things as well as the reptiles. It's like a natural crossover that just never gelled to that point, right? But now it's like full steam, and it's really kind of snowballing at this point.
It's a very astute point that you just made, and I skipped over it, and I shouldn't have. The crossover, so the AARPE show is the All-American Reptile Plant Expo, and they purposefully crossed over the reptile and plant community, and it would have never occurred to me in decades that just like nobody realizes there's a ball python industry. I had no idea there was a artisanal plant industry or whatever. I still don't really get it. And Palm Street, this should get everybody's attention if they're not tired of me rambling yet. Palm Street has 1.5 million users.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. I'm not knocking any reptile platform, but our usual sandboxes ain't got that kind of users. Now, it doesn't mean that they're all reptile people, but what it does mean is there's new eyeballs, there's new people that can get curious, and I think that there's some in the audience, but the gecko people, the inverts, the spiders and tarantula people, they are killing it. They are printing money on Palm Street. The proof of concept is there. I know that we're stubborn, tribal, and all of that in our little circular world of staring each other down in the YouTube and Instagram ball python world. But the opportunity is going to be there in Palm Street. I definitely believe that. And it's just this awesome opportunity to cross over to a new audience. And I'll be the first to admit, there's certain things that I still am going to focus on selling on Morph Market, and other things that I'm going to focus on selling on Palm Street. There's a time and a place for each different item, but Palm Street has a place, and they're doing. It's really incredible, the stuff that they're doing. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and it's just another tool in the toolbox, right? So like if you're trying to cut off a 2x4, you don't want to grab the hammer, you want to grab the saw. So everything is going to have its place in what you choose to use for its end purpose, right? Palm Street, I think, just opens up a completely different tool in the toolbox than we're accustomed to. We open it up and now there's a reciprocal saw in there that wasn't in there before. Do you know what I mean? And this can get some things done that the other kit wouldn't allow. And I think people need to be a little more open to that. But at the same time, I understand the skepticism when they see new things enter an environment that they're not
absolutely.
I completely get that. So having you. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say.
Sure. Sorry.
No. The delay is just super weird. So you'll start, and I hear you start, and then anyways, the point was having you as a spokesperson from our side in that interaction, I think, is super beneficial because of your transparency level. If it were a different party in that spot, I think people would have a harder time with it, I guess is what I'm getting at. So glad that's the case.
Yeah, no, thank you. And that was a huge compliment, and I take it that way. Thank you. I think it's another option for a different personality that might not have had an option before. For somebody who says, how do I stand out? Take myself, for example. I said earlier, I'll sell banana enchies. For somebody selling banana enchies, how do you stand out in our marketplace that we're used to? Pretty hard. I might not like people interaction. I might not like to be in a big crowd. I might not like to get up and dodge deer through western Wisconsin on the way to a reptile show.
Sure.
But I feel comfortable in my generation's social interaction. And suddenly that opens this great place where that person can now stand out that they never felt that they could before, because now they're comfortable in the live stream vertical phone screen space, and they're interacting and showing who they are. And they could be one of the first to market with an amazing looking animal that it looks like one of these cartoons that you guys asked me what I would be. And it looks so neat. And it does, and a plant person can see it and go, well, now I'm going to go Google ball pythons. And that's the magic there. We all know there's got to get new blood in the game. There's got to get new blood into the breeding stock, so to speak. It's got to happen. And I think this is a great opportunity for it.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one question. So I had lots of questions for you, but I know
you can just hit me with them.
Just looking at the time, I'm just going to limit it. There's one that I definitely want to get out because I know we actually had quite a few questions from the chat that I know Jamie's kind of collecting that we still want to get to too. But I wanted to talk a little bit about shed testing.
Yeah.
So shed testing, I mean, obviously, the evolution of that has added a lot of convenience, kind of an insurance policy, however you want to look at it, for both the breeders and the educated or knowledgeable purchaser, right?
Yeah.
But my question is, where do you think we're going next with it, or where do you hope to see more evolution of it? Because I've got lots of ideas for it. I'm just curious what you think.
Well, I want to look back really quickly. There was a time I had a guest on my show, Dr. Hannah Seidel, that kind of was the forerunner of ball python genetic testing. She was teaching it as a as a genetics course at Eastern Michigan University. And I bring that up because somebody shared a reel, or they made a reel out of the interview. And it was two people that we would all know, and they're cool guys, and I'm cool with both of them, and I'm not going to name names. But they were absolutely crapping on the idea, like, oh, like you could trust anybody to give sheds to be researched with any kind of authority. And,
Oh, really?
and like, it was just this ridiculous pipe dream. Now, my show's only been around for coming up on, 4 years, I think. So that was after my show started. That's how fast we go sometimes in technological advances, right? What the next thing is, that's a great question. I really, really haven't thought about it other than we're flying through advances at the speed of light. That's the whole pitch. That's the value of proposition, right? You hold back less overhead, and you get your projects done faster. It's great. It's great for the customer. It's wonderful for the customer. There's going to be advances in how quickly and how many genes we can test for. I'm certain of it. That's not even an insightful thing. Cars are going to go faster. Humans are going to figure out how to build more muscle and lift more weight. The records always get broken. So somewhere along the way, we're going to learn how to test more, faster, and cheaper. That's going to happen. Somewhere that's going to happen. Somebody's going to disrupt something. That's going to happen. I heard a neat idea, and I can't take credit for it. The two people that I at least can give some credit to it, Mark Mandick on my show, he said that he thinks that the one thing that our industry doesn't have that the rest of the animal world does is sort of the pedigree market. And we try to have that with like high intensity orange streamline or Barnard black pastel. But there's only a handful of those sort of pedigree markets, right? And Steven at Leviathan Snakes, he was on the show last night. He talked about at CIRI this year, Southeast Reptile Expo, that there's going to be a showcase. I think they're calling it the Reptile Showcase, where people can enter in. Oh, man, she's asleep by now. She's got to get her rat fighting rest, man. She's out. Right. Essentially, it's going to be a blue ribbon contest, sort of along the lines of what a dog show would be.
Right.
Except that the snakes are not going to have any labels on them. You're not going to know what you're voting on. The judges aren't going to know. They're going to have an idea, but they're not going to know. And the idea, and I don't know how they'll pull it off, and I don't know if it's going to happen this go around or if we're quite ready for that or not. But with genetic testing, you could now genetically prove that you have the progeny of this show-winning blue ribbon animal that won whatever we're calling it, the Reptile Showcase of the year 2025. And then the opportunities get pretty interesting. Could that be an identified morph or characteristic on Morph Market? Could it be, before you buy this animal, I'm going to send you a 1/4 inch of its shed, and you can test it. And you can see that for an extra 40 or 25 or X number of dollars, this is of that pedigree. I think that'll happen. I think it's a great idea. I wish I'd thought of it. I didn't, but that's what's kind of got me excited right now.
We talked about that years ago too, and I was hoping you were going to come up with that, or I was going to kind of push it in to see what you thought. Yeah. Like a registry is kind of the same idea. It's like, well, we've got all the testing, and people do whatever they do with it. It's either in your husbandry software or it's on a piece of paper. You got stuff in a drawer or a file somewhere, but there really isn't a registry pedigree system. Thinking that's coming along, but I think we got a ways to go, to be honest, because I think people confuse gene isolation and what the shed testing results are. Those are really two different things, right?
Very, very different.
Yes. Versus gene. Like, we're not going to take shed testing and go into CRISPR. That can't happen because it's not you're not on that level.
Right.
So, but I honestly believe we probably will get to that level because there's enough interest in it. and with what our shed testing folks, in that portion of this industry are doing, it's going to evolve, continue to evolve, and we probably will get there at some point.
I think
So-
it'll happen, but I think also, like, I don't know, I don't know if we were kids, we're all about the same age, but we were pretty young when I heard of like a sheep being cloned. I don't hear anything about sheep clone farms. Like those sheep are still doing it the old fashioned way, as far as I know. So I mean, like it's weird because some things go really fast and other things it's like, well, I guess we could do it, but is it practical or is it going to work? Are they going to be viable? I don't know. And I'm just imagining, but yeah, so I don't know where it'll go, but it's exciting to see and exciting to be a part of it.
It is. It's really wide open right now. It's kind of a cool deal.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You said wide open. Yeah, I think we need a little more of a rudder. We shouldn't just be able to just name new combos. Oh, I got a new gene. I'm going to call it this, even though maybe it exists. Maybe it like you can't skip science sometimes.
Yeah.
You might have all of that, but you shouldn't say that you do until you have some stuff like science behind it is, and I think it's important because even at even at shows, you hear people throwing around nicknames and then it becomes like a game of bad telephone. I had somebody ask me for a pride ball python, and I was like, I feel like I'm going to say something wrong to this answer, and they didn't. They were not making a joke.
That's so true.
They were being completely serious.
Yeah, back in I want to say our second year of doing this, we're looking right, and we're still going into what was the other the bulletin board one, John, where they're selling.
Oh, like King Snake and Fauna Classifieds.
Fauna Classifieds. We're in Fauna Classifieds, and I found some. I'm not going to say the name of it or anything because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but we're looking at somebody had quite a good collection of snakes, and they had one with this name that I'm like, what the hell is? And it was a cool looking snake, but I'm like, I've never heard of that. So immediately I'm doing all the searches, right? And there's no such thing. And we figured out what it actually was. After John and I talked, John, you'll remember what this was. It was basically your super gravel, right?
Super gravel plus, but with
other stuff in it. But they had their whole own name for it, and it was their gene. And I'm like, man, that is so not a thing. But good on you if you got people fooled on it, I guess.
Yeah, and so, and it's a hard line because I do feel like people should get recognition if they truly make a difference. in the space and in the hobby. But it's how about a shout out to Ozzy? He can call something heavy metal if he wants to. Not every person can just be like, "Hey, I got a new genre." It's gotta be something first, And I don't know where that line is, but there's a lot of people that jump way ahead of that line. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just to touch on both of those real quick, from what I pick up in the different Instagram chats and the groups that you involve with and things like that, is I want to touch on the idea of the lineage and the database for the genetics. And I think that you can see that in certain arenas, right? We're not trying to produce a new dog. We're trying to perfect what is known, right? Mm-hmm. So that argument in having a database, people reaching out there, creating new pairings, creating new combinations to get outside of that is kind of what keeps us out of that mentality to begin with, to a small degree. Is if you have this database of these animals and you start from this scratch and I've got this base animal from this lineage, this base animal from this lineage, the difficult becomes in the break of creativity. In other words, we're funneling ourselves more so by saying it has to hit this lineage, it has to hit that lineage to stop what could be, like we are kind of tilting at a little bit on the dinkers and things, something new and unique that actually does come out of what we do currently. I guess I think that's why it's been avoided, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and it matters how it's set up and how it's managed, though, because it can be a huge benefit to that as well. It just depends on how it's viewed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, you look at futures in horses and different livestock,
Yeah.
different dogs, cats. You're looking for that optimal example of something known, not something that's an offshoot, not something that's new or different or a morph that we use in this industry so often, because that's what we're really trying to do here. So it's almost counterintuitive to having that kind of a system in a weird way.
It's funny that you say that, because it does sound like a fun, like, sort of trinket or accomplishment or a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But by like the third or fourth generation, which yes takes a long time, but on the other hand, that's not that far, especially if you're running males back or running males elsewhere. That lineage gets so diluted. Do I care that it's the, what do you call it, the F4 or like the fourth generation of the show winner in 20? No, I don't care. What I go back to, what does it
kind of
look
my
like
point,
here?
right?
Yeah, that's exactly
Yes.
it. Yeah, I'm echoing
Yeah,
your point.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great counterpoint to that.
And I feel like that's what this industry is built on, period. Like you have to bring something new. You don't want the best example of a DG clown. We've seen a billion DG clowns. I don't care how clean you make that DG clown. It's not going to be different than...
That's true.
Do you see what I mean? And it's like the offshoots is our goal.
I'm chuckling at myself because I just jumped on this excitement. I'm like, you're exactly right. Wait a minute. I might not have thought all of this through. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to, there's, and Jason, you were saying it's important on how it's managed. Yeah. I think that people have to think through, for what purpose would it serve them? And if it does serve their purpose, then great. If it doesn't, if it's just a trinket, okay, that's cool too. But let's not get things mixed up here. It's just a trinket. It's just a little trophy that you bought then, you know? So interesting. Yeah. That's pretty thought provoking. I like that.
All right. We've already built ourselves way into an episode 2 of this, because there is so much more we need to touch on. But I promised everybody out there we're going to get their questions. So Jamie went through and she starred a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry to be like abrupt about it, but I'm looking at the time going, God, we're keeping you way too long.
Let's do the quick fire audience questions, because otherwise it would just be us hanging out in the basement. So we got to take care of the audience, right?
Absolutely. So let's do that, Jamie. If you got some stuff starred out there, let's let Adam go. Okay, Logan, here's your answer. No, I saw at least 3. Yeah, I'll go back and look. While you do this one, Adam, I'll go back and look too. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I haven't thought of doing anything cooking. I'll tell you a really, really brief story that maybe will explain why. And Jamie, I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you, man. I remember the day that I thought to myself, this damn Food Network is going to be a problem. Some lady told me how we should be cooking French fries. And I was like, this is, I've got to, right there, and don't let it hit you on the way out. Like everybody's entitled to being satisfied or dissatisfied, but don't come and tell me how to do it or how it should be done. Maybe I'm well aware that we're having a rough day. Maybe I'm well aware that the fry cook is hungover. Whatever it is, I don't need it. So I have a little bit of a deep-seated resentment towards cooking shows, son. Or everybody else's opinion. Like, I don't want to throw it out there how I like to cook my own ribeye. I enjoy that. If you want to come over, I'll cook you my own ribeye that I like cooking for you. I don't need 22 other opinions on what I've done wrong and how they should be doing it, or I should be doing it because they said so. No, thank you. I'm good.
Gotcha.
Since you asked, Jamie.
I got this one from way back. So just a little backstory for you, Adam. So Connie is mom for John and I, and Jamie. But we grew up in Naples, so that's why she's asking. And she actually worked in the restaurant industry there for a period too. So
very cool. Okay, so not totally inside talk. Inside talk. The family that owned the club that I worked for at that time, their name was Lutgert, Lutgert. Scott Lutgert was the owner of the club at the time. The Naples Winter Wine Festival was at the Ritz-Carlton there in Naples, and the event was actually held at the Lutgert house. And I use the term house loosely because there was a staff and staff quarters and butlers and all of that kind of stuff. The garage was you took a bridge under a little bay harbor in Naples, and the garage was underwater in Naples. This is who I was dealing with at the time, and it was at their house. But the festival is called the Naples Winter Wine Festival, and as far as I know, it still goes on, and it's still held at the Ritz-Carlton, I believe. But this particular event was at the Lutgert's house, and there's probably 40 or 50 people kind of deal.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, so a little more to the backstory. Like when we were there as kids, and we're in our 50s now, so this was back in early 80s, but she actually managed, and did a ton of work at the Naples Beach Club, just called The Beach Club.
Yeah.
Enormous place right on the beach, obviously, really high dollar people rolling in and out from contractors and things to the build-up area of this in the 80s. Super shady at the same time. Like you wanted the affiliation, and at the same time you wanted to be so far from there. It was, you know what I mean? How that can be a really gray overlap of things you want and things you definitely don't need at the same time.
In that world, you sign up for all the cool stuff. You sign up for flying to Naples in January and working at the Winter Wine Festival, and you also sign up for Adam. It's 3 a.m, and I think I'd like a fresh steak from me and my buddies that just rolled in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get my suit and my bow tie on. I'll be right over.
Right.
Yeah. And that both of those things are true. Yeah. So it was good. It was good while I was there, and it was great line on my resume, and a few really incredible stories and experiences, and other things that to this day I kind of resent a certain mindset of a certain group of people, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's bound to be that overlap. So we know we're going into an episode 2. Hopefully you haven't been off-put or offended enough in this one to not come back for a 2. We'll put it on the calendar.
I'm not offended one bit.
So I think this is probably how we're going to close it out, and I want to know your thoughts if this is something that could actually happen or be a part of a show. But South Park came up with a pretty interesting idea here. Karaoke hot seat.
Yeah, I saw
two song options.
I have. I'm sorry. I got to draw a line. I don't want to be a downer. I don't cross those worlds. Come out this Saturday to Egan Arms Pub in Egan, Minnesota, 5:30 to 9. How do I put it? Both of these things are very, very special to me, and they fit in their correct places. And I wouldn't. It's great to ask. It's great fun. I'm not offended one bit. But I would not sort of disrespect either, because they both mean. It's why I shy away from the word hobby. I take it so much more serious than hobby. Both things. They are both my livelihood, and they're both such an important part of who I am. I don't want to do either a disservice by trying to do music in this space or snakes in that space, because all it does is dilute both messages and misrepresent both of them. And I hope that makes sense. And I don't mean to be a snob about it.
No, it does totally.
If anybody does want to see what I do, and it's funny because then when you go see what I do, you're going to be like, why is that guy so serious all the time? Because it's nothing crazy. But my name, Adam Shira Music. You can find it on Facebook. And there's some gig videos and stuff like that. And I am proud of what I do, and it's good fun. Come out and have a good time and drink a pint or two safely, and come hang out. We'll do it there.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, you did my job for me, because that was my next thing. What's coming up for Adam? Where do we come see you? All of those closing shout out kind of things. And then we bring Jamie out too, because we do wrap up the show with some trivia. This is to put some coin in people's pockets. $10.
Sure.
They can go spend it with 29 affiliates now. So
I think that's so cool. I think it's a brilliant idea. I was telling Jamie, but I think it's just a really creative little space you guys have here, and I'm not even little creative space. I think it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So let's drag her out, see what she found in this conversation. There had to be a ton of different things.
There
to
was
hit on.
so much. I have so many notes on my paper. So I have an A and a B question. So Adam,
man.
should I use question A or question B?
Right, coin flip.
Question B.
Okay.
Question B.
Trivia question B is from way back in the beginning. How many years did Adam work at Ruby Tuesdays?
Man alive. I don't know if anybody's going to get that one.
I think I know this oddly.
I have a question A if nobody gets it.
Okay. All right.
And
We'll give him a shot.
I gave a very precise number, and it was exactly right. It was spot on. It was not a ish kind of number. That was the number.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
We're
We're
getting
waiting
lots of
for him to
numbers.
roll in. Yeah.
South Park answered it with a question mark.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got to do it with heart.
Say it with your chest.
Change that to an exclamation point. So
yeah, 10 is correct. 10 is the
10
years.
is correct.
Yep.
Nice job.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay.
I will add you to the Forge coin tally.
Congrats.
Yep.
Right,
So for anyone that doesn't know, and this is out there for you too. Oh,
Whoops.
what did we do? We lost Jamie. I'm going to go back to that.
Send it right
That
out.
wasn't right. Yeah, she just zapped right out of there. For anyone that doesn't know, including you, maybe Adam, you don't know the ins and outs of it, but the Forge coin is stuff that normally everybody does on their podcast. They give away a shirt, they give away a hat, they give away merch, they give away certain things. We do it in a currency that's spread across 30 different people. So either way, we're buying a $20 shirt for someone, or we're going to give them the option to go get a shirt from 30 people. Either way, we're spending the same amount. The audience gets a little more. I think it works in everybody's favor. It's a community effort that hopefully keeps spreading. Hopefully we keep adding more people that are going to join into this. And why not? Like, maybe they don't want a Forge hat, you know? Maybe they want a proper Royals hat. Maybe they want a proper Royals chef coat. I don't know. But
that's
should be
only
open
if
to them,
Proper
you know?
Royals is an affiliate.
That's true. That's true. You gotta.
He's like, okay, now I'm on the spot.
All right.
I think any new creative way to build and encourage community is phenomenal, and I mean that. I really like some of the little creative things that you guys have done, and you do it with heart and you do it consistently. I think it's really cool.
Appreciate you, Adam. Thank you again for taking a Wednesday night. I know you've got the Thursday morning cup of Joe coming up, and it's getting late already.
Yep.
Let's let this guy get the hell out of here, guys. Audience.
That was so fun having you on the show, though. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. I had a blast. Very cool. Anybody that watches my show knows that 2 hours is generally not in my wheelhouse, so it was fun. It flew by.
It did.
Yeah, had a blast, man. I appreciate it. Hang out for just 1 second, Adam. We'll talk to you for just a few minutes, and we won't keep you any longer. But, guys, next week, another fantastic guest. We've got Val, White Feather Balls, coming out. Val is a very unique guy, super nice community guy. He's in all the RWO stuff. He's also over with the Whiskey Bomb Network, too, jumping into their things, getting onto their lives. Crazy collection of ball pythons. And when I say crazy, it kind of touches on what we talked about a little earlier about all the testing and what you should not do. Val said, I'm throwing that in the furnace. I'm going to ignore all of that advice, and he has some animals that prove it. A lot of stuff floating in this guy's collection that you just go, what is that? Like, literally, what is that animal? So we're going to showcase some of that next week. Let him talk about how he came about it, where he got to those conclusions, if you want to call it that, but he's still working a lot of these projects, and prepare to be amazed, people. These animals are definitely outside of things you're going to find on Morph Market. So appreciate everybody that came out. Guys, 2 days left. We got a weekend coming up. Everybody finish out the week strong. Appreciate all of you so much. Adam, thank you again. Hang out for just a minute. We'll roll the end credits, and we'll just chat for a minute and let you get back to your family, man.
Cool.
Appreciate
Thanks,
everybody
guys.
out there. Great episode. Thank you so much again, Adam. Appreciate it. All right, let's get this closed out. I can never find the buttons. Jamie needs to do this closing thing sometimes. Jamie, there it is. See you next week, guys. Appreciate it.